Yogis, good morning. Hi, it's Dr. Clark coming to you live from my home studio / living room. Welcome, it's so nice to see you. I haven't been doing a lot of recorded yoga lately. It is the season of busyness, right? Season of overeating, over drinking, over buying, over committing to being everywhere and every place. And so I've been doing that. I've been doing all of those things. And I've been invested in it and I've been enjoying it. And I'm just really, really grateful for the opportunity to have such meaningful friends and families and relationships that I want to be doing those things. But it's also really important in this season to, first of all, remember that really this season is full of amazing holidays, with Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa, and many of them just really embody important virtues and spiritual connection that we all really need. And so I think taking the time to honor that is important. And I also think that in doing that, taking some time for yourself is also really important. Honoring the relationship you have with yourself, honoring that you need and deserve to take a little time for you. So that's why I'm here with you this morning, is to help you and myself, quite frankly, to just have a little bit of time, a little bit of peace and quiet, and do some yoga. So, as I maybe suggested, this is the season of over everything. Overeating, over drinking, over spending, over indulging, all the things. So we're going to spend some time doing a lot of twists today, because when you physically twist your body, and I'm talking about really from your crown to your tail, so that part of your spine. When we encourage our body to incorporate movements that have twisting, we are literally wringing out our insides, and so it really helps move the fluid, it helps move the nutrients, it helps things be less stagnant. In doing that, it gives you more energy. It makes you feel better. It might make your GI system move a little bit more. It might allow you to take a deeper breath. So we're going to spend quite a bit of time doing some twisting. And the other thing is we're going to spend a little bit of time being uncomfortable in some balance postures, because we also, during this season of all of the holidays and all of the excitement and all of the good things going on, sometimes we're really tested to our limits. And so I want to give you the opportunity to be thinking about how can you focus during those times on your breath and staying grounded when you feel really off balance. So that's not going to be our focus for today. I'm going to encourage you to find a comfortable seat. I'm on a meditation cushion. I find that in doing that and propping my hips up, and my knees are now lower than my hips, I move my pelvis into an anterior tilt. That automatically, if you just watch my spine, as soon as I anterior tilt, it elongates. My head is perfectly aligned over my shoulders, over my hips. Really no effort in that pose. So try to find a way for you to come into that type of an alignment. And close your eyes. And just start to notice your breathing. And don't judge where you're at or what version of you has come to your mat at this moment. But just notice your breath. And as you're sitting here and you feel the weight of your body underneath your sit bones, underneath whatever portion of your legs are touching the ground. As you inhale, try to elongate your spine and feel a lightness in your shoulders, in your neck, in your head as it floats up towards the sky. And as you exhale, maintain that new alignment, but engage your pelvic floor and the muscles around your lower abdomen so that you can have a little bit of kind of a forced exhale to get all that air out. Maybe place your hands palm down on your thighs to be a little bit more grounded. Inhale. Exhale. 3 long breaths in through your nose. Inhale. Out through your nose. Exhale. Inhale. Keeping your pelvic floor engaged helps you lift that upper rib cage as it fills with air. And as you exhale out through your nose, maintain that nice tall posture. If you feel on an inhale that your shoulders have come up towards your ears, when you exhale, purposefully push them down and away. One more inhale together. And as you exhale, you can keep your eyes closed. I want you to inhale, reaching, sweeping your arms up towards the sky. Tilt your chin towards the sky. And as you exhale, hands heart center, keeping your eyes closed. We're going to set our intention here for this practice. I mentioned we're going to be doing some twisting, we're going to be doing some balancing, so that's going to require your focus. It's going to require you to allow yourself to just release into the poses, into the twists, and find patience with yourself as we balance. So maybe one of those is your intention for today, being patient with yourself, so you can be patient with others. Being focused on internally just being grounded, and then you can exude that calmness and that centeredness to others. Set your intention here. And when you're ready, blink your eyes open, sweeping your arms up on an inhale, tilt your chin up towards the sky. Exhale, twist to the right. So my right hand comes behind me. My left hand is on the outside of my right knee. My spine is still long, so you can use that back right hand to prop you up taller. And as you exhale, twist through your low spine. So from your sit bone all the way through your lumbar spine, up towards the base of your rib cage. If it feels okay, you can tilt your chin towards the right, looking over your right shoulder. If that bothers your neck, you can bring your chin back towards the center. Inhale. Feel that compression in this twist. Exhale brings your chin to center first, then you undo your twist. Good. Inhale, reach, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, twist left. So now my left hand is behind me. My right hand is coming to the outside of my left knee. I feel supported under my hips, twisting through my lower spine. My chin is tilting over, looking over that left shoulder. Inhale, feel that compression during this twist. And as you exhale, chin to center, and then undo your twist. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands heart center. Bring your hands down right on the front of your legs, and I'm going to ask you at this point, switch the crisscross of your legs or your feet. Usually we prefer one alignment that's like our comfortable way, and we avoid the other one. And so that might require a little bit of a different modification to your seat. So I don't have as much opening in this right hip personally. So when I'm trying to sit in this half a lotus position, instead of having this right knee awkwardly up in the air, I'm just going to put a block underneath it. Okay? So from our seat, now with our switch to our maybe uncomfortable cross, put your hands on the front of your knees, and as you inhale, lift your heart, expand across your shoulder blades, tilt your chin to the sky. We're kind of arching our low back, extending. This is really our seated cow pose. And as you exhale, round through that spine. Keep your hands on the front of your knees. So as you round your spine, tilt your gaze down towards your feet. This is our cat pose. So we're going to inhale, lift your chin, lift your heart, broaden across your shoulder blades. Keep your seat comfortable. Maybe press down and away on your legs. And then as you exhale, rounding through that spine, compressing that abdomen, keep your hands on the front of your knees. You'll feel a nice distraction across the back of your shoulders. Drop your chin. Feel a stretch through that neck. We're not in any rush here. 2 more at your own pace. Inhale, lifting your gaze, broadening across your shoulder blades. Exhale, rounding down through your spine. Broaden across the back of your shoulders, so you're shining your heart out the back. 1 more. Inhale, lift your gaze, arching your back, coming up really tall on your seat, maybe pressing those legs down and open. And then exhale, coming through, rounding. Chin tilts down. Feel a stretch all across your back body. Your next inhale brings you back to your comfortable seat. Good. Inhale, twisting those wrists in circles all the way up to the tippy top. Switch your circular direction. Exhale, coming down. 1 more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, bringing it back down. We're going to come off of our seat. So make sure if you're going to need anything for our standing postures like blocks, you have those nearby. We're going to start in a tabletop position. So tabletop, literally you look like a little table. So you're going to have your shoulders over your wrists. Your elbows are straight but not locked, so you can have a little micro bend in those elbows. And you want to have an external rotation moment in your shoulders so that you're broadening across your shoulder blades. Your knees, likewise, are underneath your hips. You want to feel a little internal rotation moment there, like you're squeezing a block between your knees, but you're keeping space between your legs. Inhale. Exhale. Good. I want you to bring your left foot out to the back of the mat. Keep your toes dialed down. We're going to warm up our wrists and our calves. So shift your weight forward over your wrists, keeping that back toe on the mat. And as you exhale, shifting back, keep your toes down. You'll feel a nice stretch in the back of your calf, your gastroc, your soleus, right across the back of your leg, your lower leg. So inhale, come forward, warming up those wrists. Exhale, coming back, pressing through that back heel. 1 more time, inhale forward. Exhale back. Good. Come back to neutral. We're going to go into a spinal balance. So firing up your left glute, extend your leg behind you, keeping your hips level, your toes dialed down. And when you feel like you're ready, extend your right arm. So opposite arm and leg are extended here for a balance pose. Inhale, lengthen. Stretch from your fingertips to your toes. Exhale, elbow to knee. So you're going to round that spine, crunching everything in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch it in. Good. You got 1 more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch it in. I want you to go ahead, put your hand and knee back down underneath you. Just rock those hips side to side, kind of resetting our body here. Really briefly. Sometimes it feels good to walk your hands out a little farther. Kind of lean forward, let your hips drop down, broaden across your shoulder blades, open up your heart. Maybe press back into like a little bit of a child's pose, feeling a stretch right through those armpits. Inhale, coming forward. fingers to that sort of really, really propped up extended cobra, or maybe you want to press the tops of your feet into the mat for an up dog, letting your hips drop down, and then letting yourself drop back into a child's pose so you feel the stretch literally through your armpits as you keep your hands sealed to the mat. On your next inhale, come back to tabletop. Let's do the other side. So extend our right leg this time, toes dialed down. Inhale brings us forward over our wrists. Exhale brings our weight back into our right heel and stretches the back of the calf from about the back of your knee down to your heel. So a few inhales and exhales. And you really can't discount the importance of warming up your body. So warming up your wrist joints, stretching all the little muscles in your legs, your hands, your shoulders. Really helps you be a lot more effective when we decide that we want to get into some more complex flows and some balance poses. When you're ready on your next inhale, extend your right hip up. So you're really firing up your glute muscles. Your hips are still level, your toes are dialed down. And when you're ready, extend that left arm. So opposite arm and leg extended. Inhale, lengthen from your fingertips to your heel. Exhale, pull it in a nice crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch it in. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch it in. Good. Come on back to your tabletop. Widen those knees out to the side of the mat. Sit those hips back, child's pose. Forehead on the mat. Maybe roll it side to side, massaging that forehead a little bit. Remind yourself of your intention you set at the beginning of this practice. Walk your fingertips forward and long. Good. Walk your fingertips to the right side, placing your left hand on top of the right hand, sitting back on your left hip, feeling a stretch and elongation through the entire left side body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, walk your fingers back through center all the way to the left side. This time the right hand comes on top of the left. You sit back on your right sit bone, feeling a stretch through your entire right side body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lock your hands through center. On an inhale, lift your right arm up. And as you exhale, thread it through. So your left arm is long. Your right arm is reaching through towards that left side. Your arms are like making an L shape. Your hips are heavy and low. One more breath. And on your next inhale, unthread, coming all the way up into like a balanced tabletop. Exhale, bring your hand underneath you. Legs are still wide. This time, inhale, left arm goes up. And as you exhale, thread it through underneath and come right on back down, sitting your hips back. So now my right arm is long, stretching right above my head. Fingertips are really pulling on that mat. My left arm is threaded through underneath. My hips are heavy. My belly's relaxed. One more inhale. Exhale. Your next inhale unwinds you, reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, hand coming underneath you. Go ahead and widen out your hands. Bring your knees back to the center. Extend your legs out long behind you. You'll find yourself in your first plank. So in plank, remember our alignment from tabletop. Our shoulders are over our wrists. Our elbows are extended but not locked. There's an external rotation moment at your shoulders, so you're broadening across your shoulder blades. Your hips have an internal rotation moment, like you're squeezing a block in between your legs. You're pressing right down your long inhale. Exhale, come back into your first downward facing dog of this practice. Sometimes it feels good, shorten your stance just a little bit. First down dog of this practice, so go ahead, maybe bend your knees one at a time. We kind of call that walking your dog. Sometimes it feels good to lift up on your heels, press through your chest, drop your heels back down. Good. On your next inhale, come back to plank. Very minor adjustments, if any, should be made when you're going from plank to down dog. Sometimes I just walk my toes in slightly for down dog, but then you can just kind of wiggle your toes back in your plank. Inhale, broaden across your shoulders, engage that pelvic floor. Exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Bring your feet together at the back of your mat. On an inhale, lift your right leg high, bending your right knee, rolling your hips open, keeping your weight squarely through both hands and your left foot. Roll that right ankle. Roll it in the opposite direction. Inhale, lengthen your right leg behind you. Exhale, your feet come back together and you come back into your plank. At any point in time, go ahead and drop your knees if you feel like you want to do that. Inhale, lengthen everything. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Feet are together at the back of the mat. Inhale, your left foot high this time. Bending your left knee, rolling your hips open so they're stacked. Pressing through those hands long. Roll out that left ankle. Roll it in the opposite direction. Inhale, lengthen it behind you. Exhale, feet come down to the mat, coming into plank and coming all the way down to the mat. Extend your toes behind you. On an inhale, press up into cobra. Exhale, back down to the mat. Inhale, this time pressing up into up dog, so you're pressing through the tops of your feet and your hips shift forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, lift your heels, lift your gaze, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop to the front of your mat in a fold. Inhale, halfway lift, pressing on your shins, extending through your spine. Exhale, fold, bend your knees. Inhale, reach all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands heart center. And we're going to do a couple of sun salutations here. So inhale, reach. Exhale, sit your hips. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, frame your feet, step or hop back to plank. Exhaling, coming down through chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot through. Peel your left heel down. On an inhale, lift your chest, lift your heart. Stay here just for a moment. In our first warrior one, so my right leg is bent, maybe to 90 degrees. Your back leg is straight. Both feet are sealed to the mat. Because my hips are rolled open in this pose, I can't physically get my shoulders all the way back to the front, which is normal. So you're open through that spine. But your intention is to bring your gaze forward and your arms up above your head. Inhale, lengthen, maybe a little back bend as you float. Exhale, frame your feet, step back, taking a vinyasa, which is chaturanga, cobra or up dog, ending in down dog. This time, left leg steps forward, right heel peels down, and your inhale floats your chest up. Again, just take a minute here in your first warrior one. Feel those hips opening, feel your spine lengthening. You feel a little twist in your low spine. Inhale, reach. Exhale, frame your feet. Step back, taking your vinyasa. Meeting in downward dog. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, lift your gaze. Exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, sit your chips. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, stand up, hands heart center. Okay, so that's our sun B salutation. We're gonna do that 2 more times. So we're gonna get really warmed up. So inhale, reach. Exhale, sit your hips. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, frame your feet, step or hop back, taking your vinyasa. From downward dog, your right foot steps forward. Your inhale floats you up, warrior one. Your exhale brings you right back down, taking another vinyasa. So you can feel your body getting warm. From your down dog, left leg steps forward. Your inhale is what lifts you. Exhale, frame your foot, vinyasa. Inhale, lift your gaze, your heels, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop to the front fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, bend your knees. Sit your hips, lift up, Utkatasana. Exhale, stand, hands heart center. Shake your legs out. Maybe roll your wrists out. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sit your hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, frame your feet, step or hop back, taking your vinyasa. From down dog, right leg steps forward. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, brings you back down. You can skip the vinyasa anytime you want to and just go straight to down dog. Left leg comes forward. Exhale, frame. Last one. We're going to stay in down dog this time though. Okay? So staying in downward dog. Check your alignment. Gaze up at your hands. All 5 fingers and pads are on the mat. Shake your head out. Walk your legs out. Good. On an inhale, lift your right leg high. And then exhale, step through. We're going to lunge just for a moment, just to work on some little alignment things. And engage your pelvic floor. And as you inhale, lift yourself up into Anjaneyasana. Good. Always option to drop that back knee here. We're going to move this into a twist though. So I want you to, on an inhale, lengthen your spine, leaning forward over your front foot. Exhale, bring your hands heart center. Bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Twist to the right. Back leg is long. Twisting through your spine. Opening your heart. Maybe lifting your gaze. On your next inhale, left fingertip comes down to the mat. Right arm goes high. Gives you a little balance. You can twist a little deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come back, frame your front foot. And I want you to come on an inhale, straightening both legs, but walking your hands through the center so we're in a wide-legged fold to the side of our mat. Bring your toes slightly in so your heels are slightly out. Inhale, half lift, fingertips on the floor. Exhale, fold. Drop your head. Maybe clasp your elbows in your hands for just a little ragdoll as we fold forward. Walk your hands through the back of your mat, maybe widening your stance even. Maybe your head comes down low towards the mat. You can always put a block here too under your head if you're trying to work on getting forward enough to be in more of that forward fold where you're working towards a headstand, so you get that sensation of what it's like to have that weight on your head. Really frees up the back of your legs. On your next inhale, walk your hands back through, maybe your feet in slightly, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're going to walk our hands now to the back of the mat, so we're in a lunge at the back of our mat. So left leg is bent, right leg is long. Get your feet set, engage that pelvic floor, and on an inhale, lift your heart, lift your arms, Anjaneyasana on the other side. You can feel a nice opening across the front of that right hip this time. And you know where we're going, so don't try to over-guess it or rush yourself there. Still focus on your alignment. So on an inhale, lean forward, weight over your left leg. Exhale, hands, heart, center, bringing your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. You're trying to bring that right armpit towards your left knee, and you twist. Always option to drop that back knee. On your next inhale, drop your right fingertips to the ground. Your left arm goes high. If you give yourself some extra balance points, you can twist a little deeper. Your next inhale brings everything back down. Exhale, walk back through that forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. I want you to bend your knees deeply on an inhale, and exhale, come to standing. We're going to do a variation of our forward fold with a bind. So in your forward fold, usually you have your toes and your heels slightly out, so you're like a little bit pigeon-toed. I want you to inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands, heart, center. Bring your shoulders down away from your ears. Roll them up and back. And as you do that, bring your hands behind you. Clasp your hands behind you. Okay, so you interlace your fingers, and then you're holding them. You're in this lock or this bind behind you. Okay? So from there, inhale those shoulders up. Exhale, make sure they're down away from your ears. Engage that pelvic floor. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. So you're first coming just straight forward. Then you can work on dropping your head. So you've hinged at the hips. It's okay to put a bend in your knee. Let your head be heavy. And maybe at some point it feels good to also let your shoulders be heavy. So your hands are coming more forward. The weight of them pulling you forward. If your hands aren't reaching, you can use a strap. 4 breaths here. As you go ready to inhale, bend your knees deeply. And your exhale brings you back up to standing, so then you slowly straighten your knees. Good. Inhale, roll those shoulders up and forward. Exhale, let them come down and back. Good. One more inhale. Good. Let's work on balance a little bit. So on your next inhale, hop your feet together. I'm going to move back a little bit so that you can see me. We're going to go into our tree pose. So for tree pose, It's really nice to find a place where you can be grounded. So let's start with our right foot grounded. Everyone's gonna feel really strong and long through their right leg. And everyone's gonna bend their left knee and then roll their left hip into external rotation so that it opens, okay? Now your options are go ahead and leave your toe there on the floor, or bring it up to your calf, or bring it up to the inside of your right thigh, okay? Whatever works for you. Maybe even bring it onto the front of that thigh. Hands can be in heart center. If you like that bind we just did, you can keep your hands bound behind you for tree pose, that's fine. Or sometimes another bind is a reverse prayer. So you bring your hands behind you so they meet in that prayer pose. And then your goal here is to broaden across the front of your shoulders, bringing your elbows in alignment with your body behind you. And wherever you're at, maybe you are feeling like you're flowing in the breeze. Means you're wobbling, it's totally fine. Trees wobble, but they have such an extensive, exhaustive system of roots underneath them that ground them, that keeps them able to withstand the torment that occurs sometimes. Sometimes it's hurricane force winds, sometimes it's blustery snow and ice. But we can be grounded too, just like a tree. And be steadfast. Give life. One more inhale. And your exhale, come back to your standing position. Maybe roll out your toes, your ankles, your wrists, whatever feels good. And then we're going to do tree on the opposite side. So no one said your trees have to look the same. Quite frankly, they're probably going to look a little bit different, okay? Maybe you on purpose want to try something a little bit different. That's cool. But the premise is still the same. Maybe extend your arms. The premise is be grounded. The premise is find strength in the support underneath you so that you can expand, you can open your heart, you can grow. You can think about being slightly off balance, but somehow still mentally and spiritually aligned. These yoga principles are all very important life lessons. Inhale. On your exhale, hands come back to heart center. On your next inhale, bring your feet back. Good. Let's do one more flow that'll bring us on back down to our mat. So from the top of your mat, inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step back into plank. Stay in plank. Move your right hand to the center. Roll to the outside border of your right foot. Extend your left arm long. Lift your hips. If you want to, lift that top leg. Inhale. Exhale, come back to plank, lowering down to the ground just for a moment, for a little reset. One breath here. On your next inhale, bring your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes. Exhale, press up into plank. Bring your left hand to the center. Roll to the outside border of your left foot. Lift your right arm high. Maybe you lift your right top leg. Maybe not. No pressure. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, back to plank. Come down to the mat. Put your right cheek on the mat. Extend your arms long. We're just laying here on our bellies just for a moment. We're going to do a few back bends here. It's going to look like locust low. If you're not in the mood for that and you don't like those poses, you can roll onto your back right now and you can do bridge pose. Instead, you can do a supported bridge. But I'm going to guide you through these prone versions of our back bends today. So on your next inhale, bring your chin back towards the center. Keep your arms extended long beside you. And as you exhale, lift your arms off the mat. But think about lifting from the front of your shoulders. So you broaden across your shoulder blades and extend from your hips, your glute muscles, so that arms and legs are flying behind you when we're inhale. Exhale, left cheek to the mat. Just allow yourself to reset with a few inhales and exhales. Again, if you don't like this sequence of back bends, you can roll onto your back and be in a bridge pose instead. But if you're still with me, on an inhale, bring your chin back towards the center, and your exhale lifts you into locust one more time, extending across your back. Your front body is stretching. One more inhale, lift. Exhale, right cheek to the mat. We have one more back bend, so you can do locust again. If you're in bridge, you can do bridge again, or we can move into bow pose. Okay, so for bow pose, on your inhale, chin to the center, bend your knees, flex your feet, so that when you reach back, your hands are clasping your ankles right underneath that foot, and it's a nice lock. And then as you exhale this time to lift, your legs can come apart slightly, but you're trying to broaden across those shoulder blades, and as you extend your legs into your hands, your shoulders lift. And when you've had enough, bring everything back down to the mat, right cheek to the mat. Bend your knees and just let your legs windshield wiper side to side. Neutralizes your spine. On your next inhale, extend your legs, bring your hands under your shoulders, press up into tabletop, extend your knees wide, bring those hips all the way back, child's pose. Forehead on the mat. We're nicely grounded right here. And then your next inhale, come on up to tabletop. And your exhale brings you to your seat. So we're going to do a few seated twists and some seated stretches. Go ahead and start by just letting those legs windshield wiper side to side in this position, so we can start with a neutral spine. And then we're going to do a nice twist. So what I like to do is we're going to bend our left leg in first. And this might be enough for you so that with your left leg bent, you can take your right arm, wrap your knee, and then your left arm behind you helps prop you to twist. That's perfectly fine. The other thing you can do is bring your left leg over your right, so you're already getting more of a stretch in the outside of this left hip. Then you can bend your right knee, so now you're getting the added value of this is you get more of a stretch in the outside of your hips. So if that's available to you, that's great. If not, we're still going to move into that twist. So inhale, right arm up, left arm behind you. Exhale, twist to the left, maybe bringing the outside of your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Twisting through your low spine. Feeling that compression of all of your organs. This is where we're squeezing out those organs, helping all the fluid flow. Inhale, bring your gaze to center. Exhale, undo your whole twist. Okay? Undo your legs even. Shake them out. We're going to do the other side. So again, what you can do is just bend your right knee, take your left arm, wrap your knee, put your right hand behind you, and you do your twist. So we're all doing the same twist. What you can add is your right foot crosses over, your left leg bends. So now you're twisted up more, it compresses everything more right from the start, and it gives added stretch to the outside of both hips. So this time on your inhale, left arm goes up, right arm behind you. Exhale, you twist. So I'm bringing my left elbow to the outside of my right knee. I'm turning my gaze. On your next inhale, gaze comes back to center. Exhale, undo your twist. We'll do just a few seated stretches with our legs. This is a good spot. If you have a strap, maybe you want to grab that. We're going to do a forward fold seated. So keeping your legs straight, and by straight, I just mean don't lock your knees out, but you can have a bend in your knees, okay? But they're intentionally moving straight. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips. And at some point that hinge stops because your hamstrings are tight and are pulling you. And at that point then, you can slowly drape your upper body over your lower body and relax your head. Okay? So what that looks like from the side is you first do your hinge till your hamstrings say stop, and then you allow your body to fold over instead of doing this. Okay? So everyone's in their beautiful forward fold. Whatever your body permits, whatever length you have. If you have a bend in your knees, you can gently, intentionally kind of push to straighten it. And when you're doing that, think about extending through your heel. And maybe you kind of press on and off, really gentle, slowly encouraging those muscles to lengthen. And on your next inhale, walk your body right on up. Bend your left knee so that your left sole of your foot meets the inside of your right thigh. You're going to turn your torso to face your left toes. You're going to inhale your arms up and then exhale, forward fold. Same thing. So maybe put a little bend in your knee, hinge at your hips. Your hamstrings at some point will tell you to stop because you'll feel a tug on the back of your right leg. And then you just drape your upper body over your lower body, relaxing your head and neck. Maybe gently pressing through that right heel to lengthen that right leg, but you don't have to. Eventually, over your time, your muscles will lengthen if you're patient with them, if you support them along the way. Your next inhale, walk yourself back up. We're going to switch legs. So left leg long, right knee bends, right sole of your foot meets the inside of your left thigh. Rotate your spine towards your left big toe. Inhale up, maybe slight bend in your knee. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold over the left side. Ready, roll yourself back up. We have one more forward fold. Both legs are out straight. Maybe a little bit of a bend in those knees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge first at those hips. Then fold forward over your legs. Just meet your body where it's at. Don't have some expectation of where you think you should be or where you wish you would be. Just meet yourself where you are. And being honest with that
reflection and that where you are in that moment, that's where you have the best possibility of growth because you're assessing where you actually are. And you can decide from there where you want to go. Inhale, walking yourself back up. We're going to come down to the ground for one more set of twists. So roll yourself on down, keeping your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Roll your spine. On your next inhale, extend your left leg long, keeping your right knee into your chest. And as you exhale, bring your right knee across your body. Extend your right arm. Maybe your gaze is to your right hand as you bring your right knee across your body for a twist, supine twist. Keep your right shoulder on the mat. Inhale, brings your right knee in. Exhale, bring that left knee in so they're both hugged in. Roll a little bit side to side. And on your next inhale, right leg long, left knee stays tucked. Exhale, supine twist. So now my left knee comes across my body. My left arm is extended long. Close your eyes. Bring your knees back in for one more little hug. You have the option here today to do your shavasana, fully supine, or you can come back up to your seat for a little seated meditation. So wherever you want to be, either move yourself into a fully supported by the ground position for shavasana, where your legs are long, you are taking up space. Your arms are at your side. Your eyes are closed. Or you can meet me in a supported sit position here. Okay? Where we're going to finish up our class just with a few moments. Quiet breathing. Maybe coming back to your intention. But really just let yourself go. Be grateful in this moment to yourself that you have taken this opportunity to do some yoga today. And in doing that, it has aligned your body physically, your mind, your spirit. So take just a few moments here, either in your seat or on your back, and know that I will guide you back in just a few moments. Keeping your eyes closed, gently wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing some life back into all of your extremities. Being very careful and very conscious of what you're doing. From Shavasana, gently reach down under your thighs, bending your knees, pulling them up and in. Rolling to your side. When you're ready, gently pressing yourself back up to a comfortable seat where you'll meet the rest of us in a comfortable seat. And keeping your eyes closed, I want to read something to you, just some food for thought.
is actually from a book that my mom gave me for Christmas. Life in the Sloth Lane. Slow down and smell the hibiscus. It's great. I love it. But here's a quote for you. This is actually from Confucius. Imperturbable, resolute, tree-like, slow to speak. Such a one is near to goodness. So I hope for all of you in this amazingly wonderful celebratory season of holidays, of Jesus' birth and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and all of the busyness that brings, that you find a moment of peace and quiet and are reminded to be imperturbable, resolute, tree-like, and slow to speak, because such a one is near to goodness. On your next inhale, reaching up towards the sky, tilt your chin towards the sun. Exhale, hands, heart center, blink your eyes open if they're not already. It's been my pleasure to share my practice with you this morning and to guide you. And it's customary to finish and say namaste, which means the light and the love inside of me sees, honors, and cherishes the light and the love inside of you. So if that feels good to you, we can bow to each other and say namaste. Thank you for coming. Thank you for participating. If you like this video and you want to subscribe to this channel, that'll be good. Then you'll know when I upload new content. And I'm just so thankful that you have taken time to practice today. Have a great day, yogis. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.